I think it's important that there have been a lot of blockchain companies like Figure that have been working, in their case, for 7 or 8 years, getting ready. There was a kind of a resistance to IPOs in the blockchain space with the previous administration, and now all these companies that have essentially been held back are coming public, and you're seeing an enormous amount of demand for blockchain-oriented companies from the public markets. Yeah, I would say that the demand is really just starting. The majority of institutional investors have 0.0 exposure to cryptocurrencies themselves or blockchain venture. So this rally is really in its earliest days. If you think about it, the internet is just a bunch of protocols for moving data around. And even in the 90s, Milton Friedman said the only thing missing from the internet was an e-cash system. That's essentially what Bitcoin is, and then other protocols that have come out since then. And they allow you to do the same things with money and assets that you do with the rest of the internet, being able to bypass the very expensive oligopolists that control money movement, banking, remittance, credit cards, things like that. And just the way the rest of the internet companies brought down the cost of all kinds of things like shopping for books and things on the internet, blockchain will do that with banking and mortgages. Figure has done 17 billion of mortgages on the blockchain. That's really impressive. Obviously, the largest asset a typical American has is equity in their home. It's been very hard to unlock it. Figure is allowing people who have excess savings via their equity in their home to unlock it and be able to do other uses with it. Well, I've known the co-founder, Mike Cagney, for 20 years, and he has proven he can visualize the future and then, equally importantly, execute on the future. I think this company in 10 years could be a major player in reshaping capital markets using the blockchain. Well, stablecoins are a great example of that they're a great way to save money, they're a great way to send money across borders. And in the United States, our institutions are solid and our currency only depreciates by 3% a year. But most people live in countries that have terrible currencies that depreciate even faster and have, very weak or non-existent banks. And so, blockchain is going to be important for literally billions of people. Right now, there's probably 300 or 400 million people around the world that use blockchain. I think it's inevitable that within 5 years or so, 1 billion people will use blockchain to store their wealth, send their wealth across borders. And in this case, in Figure's case, access their massive equity they have in their homes and be able to use that for other investments. Oh, it does. And I'm in the blockchain space, so I talked to a lot of people who are super excited about the technology and all the nuances of it. But today I got to meet quite a bit of the customers that use Figure's technology to do their mortgage originations. They just care about speed. They can issue mortgages in 5 days instead of 20 to 30 days. And, frankly, that's really what it comes down to for most borrowers. It's just the speed and the cost savings will drive them to use it. And I think 180 partners are already using Figure's technology. Figure's mortgages are, I think, the fourth largest in the home equity line of credit business. And so just the savings and the speed of use is really what gets people excited rather than in kind of the blockchain that's underneath the hood. I do, and I think it's important that, for your followers, that you really should probably have a basket of cryptocurrencies. I did liken blockchain to the internet because it is a protocol for moving value around. In the internet, we don't have just one company that runs the internet. We have, hundreds of important companies. Think of that the same in crypto, that Bitcoin's very important, Ethereum's important, Solana, XRP. So there's a lot, there are going to be, quite a number of very important currencies. Oh, sure. And they're growing revenues at, very high double digits. They definitely have proven product market fit and growing very quickly. So I think they'll be using this capital just to scale everything they're doing.
Dan, it's great to chat with you. Really exciting week here when it comes to stable coins and more. Dan Morehead, founder, CEO of Pantera. Thank you for joining us on the